I was born with severe asthma, making it difficult for me to run. When I was younger, this was the most difficult thing that I struggled with, making me feel like I would never become athletic. When I was 12, I signed up for a race. It was only 1 kilometer, but my goal was to not finish last. And I hit that goal. I finished second last, and then I had an asthma attack. But from that point on, I always wondered what it would be like to run a marathon. And that brings me to today, because today, I'm going to be doing something crazy. Today is the first day that I'm going to start to attempt to run 200 kilometers to prove that it's possible for someone like me. The goal is to run it in just 4 days, which means I'm going to have to run 50 kilometers a day. For reference, a marathon is 42.2 kilometers, which means I'm going to be having to run further than that. Today is day 1. Even just a few months ago, I never thought I could do something like this. But recently I've come to understand that your body is really capable of more than you think, and it's often your mind that holds you back. So I told myself that no matter what, I was going to reach my goal for today. With a ton of motivation, I set off, and I wasn't gonna stop. I really thought that it'd be easy for me to do. I thought I could just do it in a couple hours. I was dead wrong. 10 kilometers in, and I wanted to give up. But I knew I couldn't. I had to keep going. And I'm glad I didn't, because 6 hours and 47 minutes later, I had run my first marathon. I was thrilled, but I still had a long way to go. Day 2. Today, the pain really started to take over. My hip flexors, my knees, and my feet really hurt. Of course, I was both physically and mentally exhausted, so I decided to focus on eating the right things in order to make sure my body had the fuel that it needed. Today was much harder than the first day. It wasn't as easy to keep my motivation. It was harder for me to want to keep going. But I did anyways. Sometimes we look back in life and the perception we have of ourselves is based on the actions that we did or didn't do. If you say you're gonna do something and you actually do it, no matter how hard it is, you're gonna build up a trust within yourself that's gonna make yourself feel much more confident and much happier long term. These are some of the most important things that I value, which is why even though on day 2 I was feeling super sore, I decided to keep going. I thought hopefully day 3 would get easier, but it was the exact opposite. Day 3. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, they somehow did. By this point, my feet felt like they were gonna fracture, and if I wasn't wearing compression socks, I feel like they would. By this point, I'd been running for over 25 hours total. It was taking a huge toll on my body. I was tired constantly. I wanted nothing more than to sleep. My backpack was 15 pounds. Every single muscle in my body was sore. I wanted to give up so bad, but I had already run 100K, and I knew I couldn't stop now. Something kept me pushing through, and on day 4, I discovered something amazing. Day 4. Often an action in your body can trigger a reaction in your mind. This is why when you smile, you'll feel happy. Your body thinks it's supposed to, so it'll release the endorphins that you'd receive naturally. Using this technique, I was gonna block out the pain. I told myself how happy I'd be once I finished. Once I finally accomplished this thing I believed would be impossible. At the end of the day, when you want to stop, you just gotta keep going, because there's more in us than we thought. It took me 4 days and almost 40 hours, but I have officially run 200 kilometers.